Hello, hello, ladies. Today is Tuesday, March 24th, and it is our second day of CGI via YouTube. Today we are going to be looking at the word problem in front of you. It says a company donates 935 pencils to a school. The pencils are divided evenly among 9 classrooms. The rest of the pencils are given to the library. How many pencils were donated to the library? So I want you to go ahead and reread that a few times. I'm going to read it again. And I really want you to think about this time what quantities you're seeing. Why are they important? What clue words are you seeing? And how do they help us better understand what it is that we need to do in order to solve this problem? Is there any information that's irrelevant? Is there any information that we think might be a little bit more important than others? And then what is our question that we're actually trying to solve? All right, so a company donates 935 pencils to a school. The pencils are divided evenly among 9 classrooms. The rest of the pencils are given to the library. How many pencils were donated to the library? All right, so first thing we want to look at, a company donates 935 pencils. So we have those 935 pencils that are being donated to the school. And then we also have 9 classrooms that are going to be getting those pencils. Something else that's really important that helps us kind of understand maybe what operation is that divided evenly. Okay, so each classroom is going to get the exact same amount of pencils from that batch of 935. Another part that I found that was pretty important that helps us really kind of hone in on what it is that we're solving for is the rest of the pencils are going to be given to the library. Okay, so that helps us know that maybe that 935 in those 9 classrooms are probably not going to go in evenly. So we might have some pencils that were left over. And then that last part is our question. That helps us know exactly what it is that we are solving for. So how many pencils were donated to the library? So we're not really too concerned about how many pencils each of those classrooms get. We want to know more about how many pencils are going to go to the library. All right, so now that we've marked up our word problem, I want you to read back through it a few more times, really think about what those quantities mean and how we're going to use them. When you're solving this, remember your CGI strategies. You want to make sure that you're planning out your work, you're identifying what those quantities are, what they represent. Be really specific, okay? When you're going on to your checking section, or your solving section, making sure that if you have multiple steps, that you're checking each of those steps, focusing on what it is your answer is going to be, and then what your unit is for your answer. And then down below, I want you to make sure that you put your number sentence with your correct answer. Also in that planning section, don't forget your number sentence with your variable so that you kind of know what it is that you're wanting to do. All right, so at this point, go ahead and pause the video, solve this problem on your own, and then when you're ready, unpause the video and we'll go over the problem together. All right, so at this point, you should have solved the problem on your own and are checking back to solve it together. So we know we have 935 total pencils that are going to be shared equally. We know that we have 9 total classrooms that are also going to be sharing those pencils. So I want you to think about how we're going to solve this problem and what words in the word problem told us what to do. So we have those pencils, those 935 pencils, and they're being divided evenly. Okay, so we have that total. We know how many pencils we have. So when we're looking at our 4 operations, we want to think, do we have our whole or do we not? Do we need to find it or do we not? And we know that we have those 935 pencils, which is our total pencils. So we don't want our answer to get any bigger. So that means we can eliminate addition and multiplication. So now we're left with subtraction and division. We have 935 pencils and we have 9 classrooms. We know that those two things are 2 different units. And I know that I cannot subtract 2 things together that have a different unit. So I know I can go ahead and eliminate that one. And we are left with division. And that phrase that said they shared it equally or they divided it equally, that tells us right off the bat that we want to take those pencils and divide them into 9 total classrooms. So we're going to take our 935 and we're going to divide that into 9 equal groups. So 9 can go into 9 one time. 9 times 1 is 9. Subtract, 9 minus 9 is 0. Bring down your 3. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky sometimes. 9 cannot go into 3, but that doesn't mean that we bring the 5 down. That means that we say it goes in 0 times. Now we go through the step again. 9 times 0 is 0. Subtract, 3 minus 0 is 3. Bring down your 5. 9 goes into 35 3 times. 9 times 3 is 27. We subtract. We can't do 5 minus 7, so we want to make sure that we're borrowing from 3, making a 2. 5 becomes 15. 15 minus 7 gives me 8. So this means I have a remainder of 8. And I know we've also been kind of working with fractions, which can get a little bit confusing because sometimes we want to use this and turn it into a fraction. But we're talking about pencils, and we're not going to give a classroom 103 and 8/9 pencils because that means we have to break a pencil, which just doesn't make sense. So this is how many pencils are going to be left over. Okay, so now we want to check our work. And the opposite of division is going to be multiplication. So we're going to check our work using multiplication. We're going to take these 2 numbers, we're going to take our quotient, and we're going to take our divisor, the number we divided by, and we're going to multiply them together. And because it's a single digit number, multiplying by a multi-digit number, I'm going to just use the stacking standard algorithm method instead of lattice, because this is just as simple and we can do this really easily. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. 9 times 1 is 9. But if you notice, these are not the same. But I have this 8 that's left over, so I need to take that remainder 8 pencils and I need to add it back into my answer. 8 plus 7 is 15. 2 plus 1 is 3. 9 plus 0 is 9. And if you notice, we have 935 pencils. But remember, our question was not asking how many pencils each classroom is going to get. Our question was asking how many pencils the library is going to get. And the library gets the pencils that are left over. So our answer actually is not 103 remainder 8. Our answer is just 8 pencils. But down here on our number sentence, we want to make sure we represent the problem that we did, which was 935 divided into 9 equal sections, which did give us an answer of 103 remainder 8. All right, ladies, nice job. Check in tomorrow for another CGI lesson.